Alrighty, so Google Maps Gold, the Arbor Group, Chad Kimball, all kind of the same thing. Local Autopilot's another one. These are all basically programs led by Chad Kimball, who's a Google Maps expert. Really, he's been at it I think since 2010. Refined his skill set over time, and honestly, having a Google My Business listing or a Google Business Profile, as it's now called, is actually a really good skill set to have. And he's good at it. He knows how to teach it. Now, it costs $19.97, so like $1,997. The refund policy, when you try to dig for it, like I did, there isn't really a refund policy in place, except for the fact that it just says like you're not gonna get any money back from what you paid so far into it. Sorry about that. So the thing with Google Maps and stuff is like you can make a crap ton of money with it. Like I'll be honest, you can absolutely make a lot of money with it because having that spot, you're at the top of Google. People generally go to Maps since they're kind of one of the first things listed, and you're gonna get a lot of phone calls that way. And those phone calls are worth a lot of money, and I'll kind of explain more as to why later. The thing is with Google Maps is that it's extremely difficult to keep them keep them live, I guess, because what you're doing at the end of the day is you're setting up a fake listing, really, and you're having to try to convince Google that you're a legitimate business that should be in the map pack. So Google's gotten increasingly strict over time. Now, like, kind of requiring you to create videos and show business material, business addresses, like all these things. And there's workarounds to it, 100%. And Chad teaches you all these different workaround strategies, and that's okay. But the thing is you're gamifying the system, and eventually you're gonna kind of get caught. And it could suck too, because you could have a client paying you $1,000 a month for this specific profile, but if your profile gets slammed or hammered by Google for whatever reason, you're out that money all of a sudden. And God forbid all your different emails are attached to the same different types of profiles, you could lose 10 of them overnight. And then all that passive income is gone, because having a Google business profile is pretty passive. And if you can get past the suspension phase and actually get instated as a actual Google business profile, you're gonna make a lot of money. It's just odds are more likely than not that you're gonna get suspended at one point and it's gonna have a hard time of coming back. And I think Chad's pretty honest about that too. So is it worth it? I would say if you already have the skill set of what I'm about to show you, then I would say it's probably worth an investment into that. Just know that it's not necessarily guaranteed success because of how Google continues to update its rules and regulations about that kind of thing. And so what I want to kind of show you real quick is something really similar to what Chad does, but instead of Google listings and ranking those, it's ranking local websites. So this is a lot safer, in my opinion, because you've never really heard of Google just taking down websites. You've heard of Google de-indexing websites if you do some like really shady, stupid stuff, but more often than not, your site's never going to get taken down, and you can have as many different websites as possible, and you don't have to worry about proving all these different things to Google just to have a website. So like 5 years ago, and this just shows you it stands the test of time, like the site's been up for 5 years straight. So 5 years ago, my dad and I, we built this. It was our first website. He did the actual web building part. I did all the different content and writing that. And over the course of 6 to 8 weeks, we actually ranked number one right here for our main keyword. Notice it's actually above the map pack. Now, this doesn't always happen. We just have our SEO really, really dialed in here, so we showed up above the map pack. But we did that by just practicing basic SEO strategies. We didn't have to fake reviews or anything like that. We just did really good, solid SEO. And we've been here ever since. We've never moved back down. We've never had to update the site. Like, I think the last time I touched this site was 3 years ago when I just was trying to do an experiment on it. And it wasn't like I actually needed to boost up the rankings or anything. It was just I was trying something new, and it still stayed. No one's been able to really compete with it. So the idea here is once you're actually ranking here, you're getting, just like the map packs, you're getting most of the traffic when you're this number one spot. People view the number one spot as an authority figure, and why not, right? You're number one on Google. So then they land on the website and they see the phone number. Now, if it's an urgent matter, like an emergency, they'll call the number and it goes straight to the contractor. And when the contractor gets the call, completes it and all that stuff, he pays me. That's what's called a finder's fee. And in the contracting space, it's super common. Now, talking about the money part a little bit, right? Like with the map pack listing, you're probably looking at $1,000 a month. Here, these websites generate $500 to $2,000 a month, just depending on the niche and the volume, final ticket price, and all that stuff. But the profit margins are really where it's at. So, as far as expenses go, it's like $15 a month for hosting on Weebly, $15 a month for my call tracking software, and $10 a year for me to just repurchase the domain name to make sure it like stays under my ownership and whatnot. But you're talking like 85-90% profit margin. It's just something that's unheard of. And again, you don't have the stress of potentially waking up one day and having your listing suspended for no apparent reason. When you rank these websites organically, they tend to stay there. And like I said, 5 years, right? Now, to this point in time, I've got like 5 to 10 of these things, rolling around on the internet. I just actually recently finished a site down in Florida for plumbing, and that one's already kicking calls and everything like that. So really good long-term passive business model to kind of build up a rainy day fund, and who wouldn't want a rainy day fund in this kind of economy, right? So if you guys are interested in learning more about this business model and how I basically do everything, go ahead and check out this link. I'll put it down for you in the description below, but basically it answers every single question you could possibly have about how I do what I do and how others do it as well. So if you guys are interested, check it out. If you guys found this video helpful in any kind of way, go ahead and give me a like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.